How you doing? So this is my twin trunk Camilla Cypress Passifera. It's been potted in this oval pot since October 2020. I am now going to be giving it a trim. I've had it just growing out since then, since it's been potted. I haven't made any attempt at repotting, and the reason is because in producing this piece of art, I lost over 100 cuttings plus two nursery stock plants, and the the tree that I got this cutting from is still alive. It's out in my backyard, so I'll bring you in so you can see the base. I'm not going to be doing anything to it at all. You can see the structure. It's really thickened up nicely over the last few years. That's to October 21, 22, 23, until now. About to approach its 4th birthday this year. So I'm going to be cleaning a lot of this out and spin it around so you can see it, get it back to its original triangular structure. You know, after I put it in the pot in the manner it's in now, I had wished that I had turned it a little more. So the front of the tree is actually here and whatnot. So you, like without all this overgrowth, you kind of be able to still see the twin trunk, but I have it more on a angular side view, and it's really not enough. So if I were going to have it viewing from the side of the pot, which is about there, I should have turned it out to the side more. But it's here now, and I'm not repotting. The thing is with these Camilla Cypress Passifera, what I've learned about them with this particular species is that if you do too much to it, it's just not going to survive. They'll die. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the trim. All right, so I'm going to stop there. I'll show you what I cut off. I have a pile here, and really pleased. There's a lot that I took off. Here's the back side. So you can see the sunlight's not going to have any problem getting through. The way I have it positioned, I have the front of the tree positioned facing east, so the whole tree gets sunlight during the course of a day. It spends part of the day in the shade, so as you can see now, having cut all of that overgrowth out the back, more of that twin trunk is now showing. I had a lot of back facing growth that I've cut out. I was really tossed up about this branch here, which I still think I'm gonna look at it again, and because I want to show you something. With this particular species, because it's such a prolific grower, it doesn't bifurcate. So let's take a a spot where you have a limb growing. So you have this growing out here. You see you have 1, 2, 3, plus this one growing. Well, that's just what I left, because before I cut all this out, all of these are places where I had to cut away. And this is one that I left before. I just cut it off, and I shouldn't have left it there. I should have cut that off before, right here. You see the fresh cut? Because if you don't catch these multiple growths, I left one so you could see. So you'll have a bifurcation right here, but inside that bifurcation, you have multiple new limbs growing. These will turn into new limbs, and then it'll swell. So I left them so I could come in here and just pluck them out. And it does it over and over and over. You'll have these triple growths like this. You have a regular limb shooting out, and then another limb will shoot out over that. And if you don't come in and snip that out, it's going to turn into a problem later. So that's all the cutting I'm going to do now, because I don't want to overstress the specimen. This is the most of a trim that it's gotten in quite a long time. It's got a really strong root structure. So all that's left to do now is to take it, put it back in the shade. It's going to be kind of cool tonight, probably down in the 50s. And just let it relax. So I'll give it a good water when I get it out there. I'm probably going to just weed it, make sure there's no weeds growing in there. I do a pretty good job of keeping it weeded. There are some in there. But other than that, that's all I have for you. I will tell you that if you decide you're going to turn this specimen into art, you're going to have your hands full. I couldn't ask for this piece to look any better. It's not one that's typically used, even in this semi-cascade twin trunk style that I have it in. You know, when I first took this cutting, this was a very, very tiny. When I took it, the limbs were not much thicker than that right there. They were very thin, and it just has really responded well. It has great movement. It looks aged. So I'll give you one more look at that base so you can see. It just looks ragged. Look at that movement in there. And how it moves in multiple directions. So that sun will be able to shine through. Now the other problem I will note with this tree is that it didn't go dormant. The winter this year on the East Coast was very, very mild. This tree might have went to sleep for a month, and then it woke back up. And now this color, this lemony yellow color, this is the color that it has during the heat of summer. It might get a little brighter, but this is basically that lemony yellow color. And even when I cut this, my God, it smells so good. It smells very Christmassy. It's a very fresh fragrance. So I'll go ahead and weed it, then I'm going to take it back out and water it.